Welcome to Shelby Podcast, a production of Shelby Systems Media. And now here's your host, Don Alsop.
On today's show, we'll be talking with some of the nice people who attended the International Shelby Conference in San Antonio this year. We had the opportunity to interview dozens of attendees, and you will be hearing the very best of their opinions and comments in just a few minutes. Plus, we'll explain what the International Shelby Conference is all about. So stay tuned for a very interesting, informative, and inspirational program. Well, here we are again. Thank you for joining us for another Shelby Podcast. The Shelby Podcast is a brief audio program that is here to help keep you up to date with everything that is going on at Shelby Systems. What is the International Shelby Conference? It's an event held in a different city each year in June where Shelby employees and customers get together for a time of learning, fellowship, and entertainment. In case you didn't hear about it, we just finished up a very successful International Shelby Conference in San Antonio, Texas. ISC 2007 was the most highly attended conference in Shelby's history, and we look forward to an even larger event next year when the location will be in exciting Orlando, Florida. We have interviewed several ISC attendees and edited down hours worth of material to just a few minutes, and we hope that you are inspired by what they have to say. We are podcasting live from the International Shelby Conference in San Antonio. Let's head out to the convention floor, meet some of the attendees, and ask some questions to find out what's going on with them. Why did you decide to attend the International Shelby Conference this year?
One of my goals in attending the conference at all was to find out how technology can help us determine those that are sliding, and this did a good job of that.
Well, currently, Windsor Village has 3 different locations, 1 central campus and 2 satellites. We're getting ready to move into $178 million project in September.
We put a lot of data into Shelby, and it's just it's a gold mine if we just use it.
Have you made any new friends since you arrived, and how did you decide which classes to sign up for?
They've sent me out here on my own, so I'm having to forge new relationships. So I decided Diane knew so much more than I did.
At all.
And then she's very kind about it, and I was trying to decide what I could take. So I was just using her expertise to get the most out of y'all.
Do you mind if I ask just what have you learned in the classes that you have attended so far?
Sure. I just really learned why it is so important to reach specific groups. Like with the risk groups, you want the not the non-attenders, but the sporadic attenders. That Shelby can do all that work for you, so you don't have to work as hard at figuring that out.
So far, it's been a great experience and getting a lot of information, a lot of good tips that I can take back to coworkers.
Well, very great information, learning about attendance and the value of tracking attendance and what you do with that attendance.
In the accounts payable, where you can show where remaining budget balances are. I had no idea that you could go in there and click that button and show it for each account. It was like, oh, that's great, So, but just, things like that.
So how were your teachers today? Did they do a good job?
Oh, excellent. That's one of the things that I look forward to the workshop is all of the teachers, because there's just new things that you learn, even new procedures, new things that come through that you're not really looking for, like functions and things like that. I just come away all with so much, and I take a lot of notes in that so that I can make sure that I can start utilizing them as soon as I get back.
I thought that the teacher was excellent, very knowledgeable. I thought that she did an excellent job in doing an overview and answering the questions.
Are you enjoying San Antonio? And what kind of things have you been doing since you arrived?
I love the facilities. I love the layout. I think it's my first time to be in San Antonio, and I love the city. It looks great.
Oh, went on the Riverwalk. We went on the boat. Some people went to the Alamo. We saw a show at the Aztec building. So we've had a good time. We're having a ball.
And what has been your favorite part of the conference so far?
I'd say, well, I'm an IT person, so all of the IT-oriented sessions have been very valuable.
I guess the thing I would add is that I've been impressed with the session so far. It seems like each session I've gone to, I've been able to get out of it more than I thought I would every place I've gone. So I've been blessed by that.
For me, it was the devotion. I almost missed it this morning. I said, I'll just start off at 9:30. But the Holy Spirit said, no, get on up, be obedient, and just follow the schedule. Don't have your own agenda. And when I got in, I was just so blessed to hear the prayers. Even in our first session, I think his name was Charles, he prayed. It was just phenomenal. And I was just like, Father, I just thank you. Even though we prayed before we left, but just to come and get the continuous prayers just made the conference to me even more enjoyable and even spirit-filled, because it just kept us all on one accord.
And there you have it, some of the best comments from our extended Shelby family during the International Shelby Conference in San Antonio this year. Hopefully their words have inspired and encouraged you to learn more about ISC 2008 in Orlando, Florida. It's never too early to start planning. Please visit ShelbyInc.com and choose the ISC link from the training page to find out all the details. Or you can call 800-654-1605 to talk to someone. We expect our largest group ever next year, and we hope to see you in exciting Orlando, Florida. On our next show, we'll be talking about groundbreaking for the new Shelby World Headquarters building. Before we go, here is our inspirational quote for the day from Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord and not for men.
You've been listening to Shelby Podcast with your host, Don Alsop. Shelby Podcast is produced by Shelby Systems Media and can be heard online at shelbyinc.com/podcast, or you can download the program, copy it to your iPod or MP3 player, and listen at your convenience. Make sure you click the RSS link so that you get each new show automatically. Shelby Podcast is now available on iTunes. We want to hear from you. Please send your comments, questions, or suggestions to shelbypodcast@shelbyinc.com. Thanks for listening, and tune in next time for another Shelby Podcast.